Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our EAFC 24 career mode. We're returning today as we look to play out the rest of November and the whole of December to close out the calendar year with our Juventus squad. That will include our final 3 Champions League group stage matches as we look to try and top the group and give ourselves a helping hand in the last 16 with an easier tie, and also some easier fixtures in the Serie A after some tough opponents in the previous episode, although we will have our first Turin derby of the season against Torino. Let's jump straight into it. First game is a big one, the reverse fixture against KRC Genk in the Champions League as we face them at the Allianz. Forza Juventus. So of course it was just in the previous episode that we had the return game in Belgium where KRC Genk were fantastic and put up a real fight and came away with a 1-1 draw, which leaves them sitting pretty in the group in second place ahead of Bayer Leverkusen. So if they can get something out of tonight's game as well, then they're in a fantastic position to make it through to the knockout stages. But for us, we're looking to move away at the top of the group and create a bit of a gap between ourselves, Genk and Bayer Leverkusen. Chiesa into Bernardo Silva, brilliantly worked. And again, we cannot find that breakthrough. Wide of the post this time from Bernardo. It's been all Juve, but still 0-0 here in Turin. Romero does enough. A couple of changes for us as we look to our bench to try and find the breakthrough. Chiesa to Diogo Dalot. Now Nilos into Bernardo Silva. Surely this time it's off the woodwork. Genk looking to win it. Hume swings the cross in. Elanga! Oh, ref, what are you giving that for? Oh, I cannot believe this. Oh, I mean, that's just ridiculous. And Araujo has the chance and scores for Genk, completely against the run of play. Bernardo looking for Nilos, and Nilos to Prestiani and Lamadi. Noah with his first goal for the club, and instantly we're back on level terms. There is the whistle, and again it's a 1-1 draw between Juventus and Genk, which could bring Bayer Leverkusen back into things. We had all the chances to win it and still found ourselves a goal down before Noah Lamadi equalised late on with his first goal for the club. Unlike in Belgium, it was Juventus who were on top but couldn't find the 3 points. Let's go and take a look at how that leaves the group standings. So here is a look at how Group A currently stands, and Juventus still top of the group, but Genk sticking with us for the time being with 3 draws and a win from their 4 games as they remain unbeaten. Shakhtar actually beat Leverkusen, which gives them a chance at heading through potentially in second place, but a win against Leverkusen in matchday 5 will see us through to the knockout stages. And our attention now returns back to the Serie A as we face 19th place newly promoted Bari away from home. Bologna have a tough test after us as they host Inter Milan, who, despite having a poor start to the season, are still a force to be reckoned with. Could be a big turning point in the Serie A season. Forza Juventus. Oh, that's poor. That's really poor. Given away to Jude Bellingham. And Bellingham, what a strike. Rifles it into the back of the net. And Bari gifting Juve the lead here. Jude over the top for Dusan. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Dusan Vlahovic ends his goal drought. It's been a little while. I can't remember exactly the last time that he scored, but it does feel like it's been a while. And finally, he's back on the score sheet. I'm trying to think back. I know he notched up against Fiorentina, but he must have scored one since then. Regardless, Dusan back on the score sheet and Juve running away with it. Jude to Duzan. And Klojek running through. This could get messy for Bari. Klojek smashes it in for 3. It's taken just 20 minutes and Juve have already taken the game away from Bari. Game over. Jude wins the ball back. And again we come forward. Lovely feet by Johan, and Jude into Adam. Klojek smashes it in for 4. And this could get very messy. Trying to keep my goal celebration short because there's been so many of them. And there could be another here as Gabriel Martinelli. Parisi nicks it. Klojek and Duzan. It's 5. De Jong. Klojek into Bakayoko. Takes it in his stride. Johan smashes it in for 6. De Jong to Klojek. Jude now has it. And Jude waiting for the run of Johan, who is onside. And Bakayoko pegs it back for Gabriel Martinelli to make it 7 for Juve. Lamadi into Duzan. It's a good ball into the big man's feet. And Jude back to Duzan Vlahovic. This to make it 8. And Duzan at the double, and we have matched that record victory in the save of 8-0 against Notts County. Can we go on and make it 9? Sarai goes long. We've got to win this and get it forward straight away. Gianluca into Duzan, and there's the whistle as we pushed for the 9th. And it is an absolute trouncing for Bari. Oh, it was a hat-trick for Duzan. Oh, happy days. Duzan back on the score sheet with a hat-trick. And that is an absolute walloping for Bari. So I forgot to mention before that last game, in the first game of the episode in the Champions League, McKennie actually broke his toe. So he will be out for 3 months alongside Harry Matthews and Diomande. It's been a fantastic start to the season, however, in the Serie A, where we remain unbeaten and open a 4-point gap at the top thanks to Inter Milan's victory over Bologna. We now face Genoa, who currently sit in a Europa League spot in 5th after a good start to the campaign, looking to continue our unbeaten start. Forza Juventus. So looking to keep our momentum up against a good Genoa side who have had a good start to the campaign, but it seems as if Juventus woke up and chose violence after that last game, as Frankie denied with that 8-0 drubbing of Bari, which sent them to the bottom of the table. We will be looking to keep that up today with more goals as Klojek tries his luck on the spin, and we've started as we mean to go on. There could be plenty of goals in today's episode. It's another fantastic save by Bobek. De Jong swings it in again, and Duzan, penalty. Well, hopefully this will bring the goal that our start deserves. It's a little bit harsh, but Jude Bellingham stands over it. We've not had a penalty for a while. And the captain sends the keeper the wrong way, hits the target, and opens the scoring once again for Juve. Crazy opening 15 minutes here, and we finally got our breakthrough. It feels a little bit like the side that we built at Sheffield United, where we were just so ruthless. And in that final season, we absolutely walked the league. And it looks as if we could be doing the same here with Juventus. Bologna potentially struggling to keep pace with us. And we just do not look like stopping at the moment. Duzan doubles our lead and Juve are flying. I do want a third before I start looking to my bench to take off my starters. And there could be a chance to get it here with Klojek bringing the ball forward and Martinelli bursting in behind. Gabriel Martinelli bends it home for 3. 2-2 for the Brazilian. And that's exactly what we needed from our new wide man, De Jong. Bernardo ahead of him. And look at the space for Fede Chiesa out wide. should be for this. Chiesa with the Trivela finds the bottom corner and rounds off the victory in style. And there is the whistle as Genoa are put out of their misery, as Juventus just absolutely ruthless in these last couple of games. 8 away in Bari and now 4 here against the Genoa side who have had a good start to the campaign. But we just look like we could end up running away with this Serie A title, especially with the likes of Napoli, Milan and Inter nowhere to be seen. So match day 5 of the Champions League up next, as we know that a win will see us progress to the knockout stages, hoping that we can take our league form into the Champions League, where we've not been quite as convincing. Forza Juventus. Well, we're underway here in Germany at the Bayer Arena, and I'm really looking forward to this one after the crazy 5-3 that we had on match day 1. I'm hoping for more of the same and another fantastic game. We know that a win here will see us progress to the knockout stages, and after the fantastic run of form that we've been on, that's exactly what I'm aiming for. Onyedika spreads it out to Dallo. Now Cristiani, who's come a little bit more central. Dallo on the overlap, lovely build up. The cross is into the middle for Noah Lamadi, who, bursting into the penalty area once again, is there to score, just as he did right at the start of the episode, as he equalised for us at home to KRC Genk. Frimpong swings his cross in. Traore gets the run at the back post, and Dallo did not do a very good job there. Looked as if he was ahead of Traore, and then let him get a yard, and Traore heads Bayer Leverkusen back into the lead. Not good from either of our fullbacks. Costa can't keep it out, and we may be in for more goals between Bayer Leverkusen and Juventus. Costa can gather that and looks to get it forward quickly, but gives it to Brahim Diaz, who shoots and nearly finds the bottom corner as Bayer Leverkusen look to turn the scoreline around. Florian Wirtz will whip the corner in. It's headed away at the near post, and that should do it for this first half in Germany. But still we play, and Guiri, right on the stroke of the half, referee allowed them to play on, scored in the reverse game in Turin, and puts Bayer Leverkusen, the home side, ahead here. I have a feeling the goal scoring is not done there either for both sides, as Nilos gets on the turn, and Onyedika making the run from deep, and Onyedika levels it up. And I said the goal scoring wasn't done, and I still don't think it is. And there is the whistle in Germany, and it does finish 2 apiece. 3 draws in a row in the Champions League for Juventus. And I said before the game, we've not been quite as good in this competition as we have in the league. It should still be enough to see us through, depending on the other results. But yeah, not quite as convincing as I would have liked. Undefeated in the group, but 3 draws from our 5 games. So that point is enough to see us through to the knockout stages of the Champions League. But as you can see, ourselves and KRC Genk have an identical record with 2 wins and 3 draws. Goal difference is also exactly the same, so we sit above them on goals scored. So with match day 6 to come later on in the episode, it could come down to goal difference if both teams are victorious. We now switch our focus back to the Serie A, where Bologna have lost once again, this time to AC Milan. So a win here could see us jump 7 points clear at the top of the table. Forza Juventus. So it's our first Turin derby of the season as we look to continue our fantastic form in the league. And as I kind of expected that Bologna would fall off eventually, and with it just being ourselves and Bologna so far out of the top, I had a feeling we might be able to pull away And if we win here, we will go 7 points clear at the top of the Serie A. So although still a long way to go, that is a nice healthy lead this early on in the campaign. As De Jong will float the set piece in, looking for Martinelli. Gvardiol keeps it alive, and now De Jong just floats it to the back stick. Just evaded Adam Klojek, who keeps it alive. And Parisi to Martinelli, looking to bend one. Again, De Jong will float the corner in, this time looking for Vlahovic. Gvardiol. And Bakayoko, forcing the keeper into another save. That's his third or fourth one of the game so far. Martinelli flicks on from the corner. And this time the keeper can't get anything on it. And Gabriel Martinelli scores his third in as many games for Juventus in the Serie A. Oh, that's a worry. Josko Gvardiol going down after an aerial duel with Alexander Isak. And with the amount of broken toes that we've had so far this season, I wouldn't be surprised if that is another one. I've missed my tackle there, and Isak given space, and Isak shoots, and Costa turns it away. Torino still definitely in this contest at just 1-0. And now Martinelli looks to release Klojek. And space for him to gallop into. Adam Klojek, side netting. Isak wins the header against Jules. And Gvardiol doesn't get there. Big chance. Tavares levels up for Torino. And it is just our fourth goal that we've conceded in the Serie A, but it's an equalising goal for our local rivals. Gvardiol just missed the tackle. And as Costa came out, Tavares slams it past him, and Torino are level. Klojek spreads it out wide to Martinelli. 5 on the clock here. Is there to be a winner as Martinelli storms forward? Martinelli surely wins it for Juventus. Martinelli at the double. And in his first local Turin derby, pops up with what is likely the game winner to secure his brace. Fantastic from the Brazilian. Well, as Costa pumps this forward, that should just about do it. And there is the whistle. Juventus victorious over their local rivals thanks to a Gabriel Martinelli double, with the latter of the two coming right towards the end of the game to win it late on. And that will send Juventus 7 points clear at the top of the Serie A after just 15 game weeks, as we look to pull away from the rest of the chasing pack and wrap the Serie A up as early as we can after losing out last year. More bad news for us as we see our fourth broken toe injury of the season, as Josko Gvardiol will miss 3 months of action. Absolutely gutted because he's been fantastic since signing for us in the summer. Christian Romero will step in for our next game and the foreseeable future as we face Palermo, who are having a fantastic season, currently sat in 4th place. And it was around this time last season when they inflicted our first defeat of the campaign. So we'll be hoping that they won't be able to repeat the same today, and we will continue our march at the top of the Serie A. Forza Juventus. So as the snow falls in Turin, we face Palermo. As I mentioned, the first side to defeat us last campaign. This is a good start though. Bakayoko. Oh, onto his left foot. Richarlison. Oh, gets past Romero, his former Spurs colleague, and Romero can't get back, and Richarlison denied at first but scores on the rebound. And he absolutely raced away from Christian Romero there, in for Josko Gvardiol today. And for the first time this season, we've conceded in back-to-back Serie A games as the Brazilian opens the scoring for Palermo. Oh, Romero steps in brilliantly. Klojek ahead of him. And Adam Klojek surely for 1-1. Just about squeezes it through the gap past the keeper. And Juventus, despite not performing our best, are back on level terms. Patesson away from Romero. Again, it's not very convincing. And Palermo restore their lead. Straight from kickoff. Romero again, after making up for some pretty shoddy defending for the first goal, gets beaten down that right-hand side, is whipped into the back post, and Palermo have their advantage back. It's actually the first time this season as well we've conceded multiple goals in a game. So far, the only goals we'd conceded had all been single goals, but now Palermo with 2 have broken that record. I'm going to make a few changes next time the ball's out of play, and that'll see a slight change of system as well. But here goes Johan, gets there first. Bakayoko, oh what a goal! And Johan levels it up just before those changes come into effect. It's a brilliant individual goal from Johan Bakayoko. Bellingham to Bernardo Silva, and now Dusan. And Nilos on the move ahead of him. Nilos takes it in his stride. Nilos Kaya! Smashes it home. Finds the gap at the near post. And poor Palermo, who have been fantastic today, from 2-1 up, find themselves 3-2 down. Solis robbed by Dusan, and Nilos. Can he get away from Niakate? Stops, sends him one way, and goes back across goal with his finish to seal the 3 points for Juventus. Nilos off the bench with a brace and wraps up the victory to keep Juventus clear at the top of the Serie A. So match day 6 of the Champions League up next. We know that it's a straight shootout between ourselves and KRC Genk for top spot. If we win, then we should do enough to keep ourselves on top spot, unless KRC Genk win by multiple goals. Forza Juventus. Despite us already being qualified for the knockouts, I do really want to progress as group winners. But KRC Genk may have other plans in mind. But that's a brilliant ball by Lamadi to Prestiani, who races in behind. And Prestiani across to Nilos. And that is the perfect start. Of course, we know that on this final group stage match day, it could come down to goal difference, as both ourselves and Genk were on 9 points, as Prestiani races away. Dybala in the middle. Paulo Dybala! First goal since his return. That will help the goal difference, and that will be one that will be well received around the Allianz Stadium. Oh, nicely worked, and Shakhtar have a goal back. Sudakov slams it in past Diogo Costa. Second half has been pretty poor here, I won't lie. No real chances for either side. At 2-1, still a chance that Shakhtar find a route back into things. But Dalot looks to send Duranville away. Oh, and he's nicked it off the last man, and Duranville racing away and squares it to Nilos. And that will do it. Poor defending from Shakhtar. Can't give the ball away as last man, especially not to someone as quick as Julian Duranville. And he had the awareness to roll it across to Nilos. Back-to-back braces for our Greek centre forward. And that will be us heading through to the knockout as group winners. Rola intercepts. Ranocchia gets it back. And now it's Bernardo and Giuseppe. Oh, it's brilliant. Doesn't get a huge amount of game time, Giuseppe Ambrosini. Spends most of it sat in the resis. But given a chance today off the bench, and shows that he's got a bit of quality about him. So Genk were held to a 1-1 draw with Bayer Leverkusen, which actually sees the German side finish bottom of the group and get dumped out of the group stage. As for us, we do finish top. So we will find out who we face in the round of 16. No news articles, so we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way, where Juventus will be taking on... There we are. Top draw, Atletico Madrid. That is a bit of a cracker. Lazio face Sevilla, Milan against Leipzig, Manchester United against Real Betis, Genk face Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona against Newcastle, and Manchester City against Napoli, the full set of fixtures. So 2 games to close out today's episode in the Serie A. First off, away to Empoli before a home clash against Salernitana. And you can see that Bologna, after losing again in matchday 16, we now extend the gap to 10 points already at the top of the Serie A after just 16 games. So yeah, it's looking ever more likely that we're going to be lifting the title come the end of the season. Still a long way to go, of course, but undefeated, most goals scored, least goals conceded as we march towards the Serie A title. We'll hope to keep that up with our trip to Empoli. Forza Juventus. That could be a chance on the break here. Klojek looks to release Martinelli, the man of the moment. Martinelli in behind the defence. Martinelli, oh, he's found a way through. And this is exactly why we signed him. £60 million to Arsenal for the Brazilian. And he's starting to find that goal-scoring touch more consistently. Martinelli does it again. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, this has not been a particularly good game. Probably because I'm extremely tired when I'm playing this. But, yeah, not been a very good watch so far. Here's Klojek, though, and finds Dusan for 2. And Dusan finds the corner. And it's not been a very good game, but we do find ourselves 2 goals to the good. Dusan Vlahovic back on the score sheet as he looks to retain that Serie A golden boot. Got a bit of work to do in this second half of the campaign. Well, there is the whistle on what is probably the worst game I've ever played of FIFA ever, or FC of the franchise. We win it by 2-0, but they were really the only 2 chances in the entire game. It was a poor performance from yours truly, but we managed to sneak away with the win. Salernitana up next to close out the calendar year of 2030. So yes, it is Salernitana up next to close out today's episode and to close out the calendar year, as I've just mentioned. So hoping to end 2030 with another 3 points to move us further clear at the top of the Serie A. Forza Juventus. De Jong into Dusan. Dusan finds Jude. And Bellingham back to Martinelli. It's the man of the moment again. Gabriel Martinelli just cannot stop scoring at the moment. Klojek. Fabiano making the run from the left. And Parisi, tight angle off the woodwork. Bakayoko picks up the loose ball and looks for Parisi again, who gets hold of it. Klojek on the half turn. Through to Bakayoko. Back to Klojek, and look at the space for Dusan Vlahovic. Never going to miss from there. And it's those 2 again, Martinelli and Vlahovic, who did it away at Empoli, who give us the 2-goal lead here, this time at home in Turin. Ooh, poor tackle that. And Unal could be in trouble here. It's a straight red for Enes Unal. It was a poor tackle on Frenkie de Jong. We'll see it again here. Gives the ball away and then dives in straight through the back of the Dutchman. And Salernitana down to 10. Salernitana looking for a goal back and space out wide, and they have got a goal back. Right at the end, the 10 men of Salernitana pull one back. And we should be able to see this out with just a couple of minutes to play. Jude Bellingham sitting off him. Bellingham hits it. And it's just over the top. And that will be the end of the match. Juventus claim all 3 points once again. But it was by no means a classic, similar to the previous game against Empoli. And that may be partly on my behalf because my passing was so poor in that second half. That man Gabriel Martinelli and Dusan Vlahovic both on the score sheet once again as they were against Empoli. And it's another 3 points for Juve. Alright then guys, that is where we will leave it for today's episode, and as you can see the gap now extended to 15 at the top of the Serie A as Napoli jump into second above Bologna, who have really fallen off after a fantastic start. We still remain without a loss and by far the best defensive record with just 7 goals conceded, and it does look as if we are major favourites to lift the title come the end of the season. We'll return in the next episode as we have the Italian Super Cup and more big games in the Serie A as we look to continue our push and remain unbeaten this season. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next episode very soon. Peace.